My name is Louisa Parson. Um, I actually served as Louisa Golson in the Navy from 89 to 95, and I was in the first Gulf War. Um, I'm about to go to the VA today to get my bipolar shot that I've been taking for since March 2013. Um, and just wanted to document this because um, I've been taking 25 milligrams for the last 4 years. Um, but I'm about to go up to 37.5 milligrams. Because I have had a increase in my psychosocial conditions. Um, I've started working on weekends instead of working like 2 days a week where I have a break, like Wednesday and then a break and then Saturday. And 3 months ago, I started working 3 days a week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And also during that during that time period, I was dating. And so I had a very active dating life. And then I also was doing volunteer work. I was doing peer support work with um, with a daughter of a Korean War vet, and I at least do 3 home visits with her that could go anywhere from 4 to 6 hours. So with that change in my schedule, I was getting to the point where it seemed like the Risperdol was only effective for about 8 to 10 days. And then I started seeing myself cycle. So I went to my psychiatrist and told him those conditions, and then he has increased my meds, and I'm supposed to take that first shot today. But despite all of that, talking about the medication and everything, that's one part of my therapy, being compliant with my meds. But the other part is I normally see a VA social worker that does CBT with me, but I'm in transition and choosing I wanted to get a sex therapist through the VA Choice program. So since March, I haven't seen my VA social worker to do any CBT, but I have been utilizing a peer recovery coach in my area, and I'm been learning about other avenues of self-care. I participate in NAMI groups, National Alliance of Mental Illness, and but their support groups. Yeah, I'm a facilitator of that group, so I can't utilize that as a form of self-care because it's more of a service. So this brings me to what's always worked for me. This is called the VISCOTT method. And when this was written, what a therapist suggested was to do audio recordings of yourself, especially during sessions, to hear yourself talk and then play it back. And then you kind of use yourself, you hear your voice and you know what you're talking about. But this is a means to step outside of yourself and actually hear what's coming out of your mouth. I used this when I was very depressed after my second husband died. And it was about 7 months after his death that I was getting pretty hopeless. I was getting depression and I couldn't get out of bed, and I wasn't doing anything. I was staying at home. But I did go out to the Salvation Army one day, and I found this book called The VISCOTT Method, and I picked it up. And I have been using this as a form of therapy. I've upgraded it a little bit. Instead of doing cassette recordings, I am doing audio recordings. Audio recordings, I'm doing video recordings. So I have more feedback, my facial expressions, what I'm doing. And a lot of it, like right now I'm smoking a cigarette, but that's normally when I'm doing self-talk. I am smoking. And trying to get a gist of what my facial expressions are. And how am I, how am I dealing with a stressful event? And this is actually it's going to be a change. It's going to be a change. And I wanted to document it so I could play it back later and see. It's amazing what can happen. Believe me, it's amazing what can happen in a week, because I wish I had been recording this past week. I've had some recordings, but they've been like video clips all through the week. And I wanted to take this time, yeah, get it in print. But one of the first exercises they have you do is a survey tape, and then there are questions. It says tape 1, who you are and how you got that way. And that's a very big question. And then there's like little questions that you ask. And I remember, if you actually do the survey, I remember my first survey tape was, I think about 2 or 3 hours. And I believe I still have it. I just don't know which laptop it's on. But the guidelines are, in giving your answers to these questions, bear in mind, take your time. Try to give several answers to each one. And if a question prompts a statement, make it. And the first question is describe yourself. And I will make this tape just on describe yourself. Um, and I'm doing this for the benefit of anyone that meets me, how I see myself. You know, if you'll see what's scrolling on the screen is a motto: be positive despite any circumstance. Um, and I've tried to live that way. I've always considered myself to be a positive person. But I have this way about me. There's this thing about me. I kind of, when I'm like in a group, I kind of take on the personalities of that group. So, in a way, I'm very influenced by my surroundings. And I've been like that since I was a child. First example I remember is when my dad was stationed at Bergstrom Air Force Base. Used to be right outside of Austin, Texas. There were these two little girls from England, and that were stationed there too. And I used to go play with them. And at first, it started with just tea and crumpets. And we would play with the little, with our little tea sets and everything. And I would go over there because I didn't have a tea set, And I went once, and I had so much fun, and I kept on going back. And they would do it the same time every day. And so over a course of a week, I was having tea and crumpets. And I had already developed the accent. So when I come back home, when we, how parents are, they don't necessarily notice the process of you doing something. They just wake up one day and say, what are you doing? They didn't watch you like get to that point, right? And so I was just talking one day, and I was just, my whole accent, I was just English. And my dad's like, what the hell happened to you? But that's just one example of how I can like get into a routine, and once I start adding it into my daily routine, I pick up the mannerisms of people around me. And that's why it's so important for me to be around positive people, because if I get around someone who's negative, before long, I'm spiraling down. And it's pretty much what happened in this dating relationship that I was in. I thought it was cute. I thought the sarcasm was cute at first, And I knew this guy 11 years earlier, and we dated before. And I just, I remember, I really, I can't, I just remember that he was a negative person, and then and he had reasons to be, I suppose, as all of us do sometimes. Sometimes we are just going through a bad spot. But that's one thing too, what I want to emphasize in this video is that I had to really look at, despite what's going on in my life, not to get into that negativity, because it snowballs, and then for me it triggers my, it'll start cycling me, and then when I hit that, go from manic and depressive, I'm being manic, trying not to be depressive, and then but the highs and the lows get bigger and bigger, and then there'll be that one, where I'm real high, and then I shoot down, and that's when things I notice about me when I'm spiraling down is I have more frequent crying spells, and usually when I'm crying, when I'm starting to cry over situations or circumstances, I feel overwhelmed, and then that's it for me. I'm there. So, and one of the tools I didn't utilize during this whole spell is what has helped me in the past was, videotaping, and listening to myself talk, being my own best friend. When I want somebody to be my bestie friend, there's something not right. So I'm not giving myself the time to look at me, and I just know that I don't want to be in that spot again. And I was there a month ago. Because it's really hard to find people and you'll have to be around like a group of people, and then it takes time to build those relationships and everything to get out of that. And and fortunately this time I just happened to find someone that was very positive and has got me back to doing the things I know that are good for myself. But it's coming on 20 minutes. Even I can't look at myself for 20 minutes. But this is just like just a teaser of the effectiveness of the VISCOTT method, and then making this like as mainly to document June 15th and me getting my shot today, but also to incorporate something that's worked in my life and to do a timestamp. So, but I'm feeling good today, despite what's going on. I mean, a lot of the things that have happened this past week have really helped my mood, but I also know that it was a good week. You know, I'm aware that it was a good week, and no telling what this week's gonna be like. Hmm. My hopes are it gets better. But since I'm gonna have this shot, I don't know what how my body's gonna react to it. So okay, um, I'm gonna end this. Um, and I hope this just if you're watching the series, this is the first in the series. I always like to have some viewers and stuff like that, but um, just uh, just a little chunk out of my life. I'm gonna talk to you soon. Talk to you in video too. Bye.